Good day. It is October the 6th, and today we continue in John chapter 2, doing verses 5 through 8, and Proverbs 6. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. And we begin John 2, starting at verse 5. But his mother told the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." 6. Standing nearby were 6 stone water jars used for Jewish ceremonial washing. Each could hold about 20 to 30 gallons. 7. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the jars with water." When the jars had been filled, 8. He said, "Now, dip some out and take it to the master of ceremonies." So the servants followed his instructions. Okay, so Jesus is at a wedding. They ran out of wine. His mom said, "Jesus, they ran out of wine." And he goes, "So?" And then she tells the servants, "Do what he tells you." And this is what happens. But his mother told the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." He first refused, but her faith said that, "Hey, my son can fix this." 6. Standing nearby were 6 stone water jars used for Jewish ceremonial washing. Each could hold 20 to 30 gallons. Stone was the first preferred containers because it was easier to clean. They didn't, rot like wood, and they didn't dissolve like clay and all that sort of stuff. So this is about between 106 and 160 some gallons. Ceremonial washing, they would pour the water over their hands, clean their hands. So they're probably, the wedding was in full swing. They might have been empty at this time. Verse 7. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the jars with water," and when the jars had been filled, in all his miracles, he never actually creates something from nothing. What he does is he either increases the quantity, like he did with the bread, loaves and fishes, or he changes the quality of something that already exists. He changes changes something from one thing into another. He said, "Now dip some out and take it to the master of ceremonies." So they followed his instructions. In other words, he said, Go have it tasted." Proverbs 6. My son, if thou should become surety for a stranger, if thou hast struck pants for a stranger, in other words, co-signed. Basically, co-signing doesn't just mean for money, it could mean for actions or material things or something. In other words, you're taking responsibility for someone else's actions or something. Thou art snared by the words of thy mouth. Thou art caught by the words of thy mouth. In other words, you agree to it, you gotta do it. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself, seeing that thou art coming to the hand of thy neighbor. Go humble thyself and urge thy neighbor. Go say, "I owe this to you. I'm going to get it done as quickly as possible." 4. Give not sleep to thy eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Don't stop working at it until it's done. Deliver thyself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. In other words, get it done as quickly as you can. Escape this. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. In other words, look at it and see what she's doing. Which, having no chief, overseer, or ruler, provideth her bread in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. In other words, not bossed around. They do what they need to do. 9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou rise out of thy sleep? In other words, when are you going to get out of bed? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding the hands to sleep. Just 5 more minutes. Keep hitting the snooze bars. In other words, the reply is, so shall thy poverty come as a runner. In other words, real quick. And thy want as an armed man, like everything was stolen from you. 12. A base person, a man of iniquity, is he that walketh with a froward mouth, with rebellion. 13. That winketh with his eyes, that scrapeth with his feet, that pointeth with his fingers. Not me. I'm going to get out of here. Frowardness or rebellion is in his heart. He devises evil continually. He soweth discord. he causes problems. 15. Therefore his calamity shall come suddenly, on a sudden he shall be broken, and that without remedy. In other words, he'll keep doing it, and then God will take care of him quickly, and no one can help him. 16. There are 6 things which Yahweh hateth, yea, 7 which are abomination unto him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, lies, pride, and murder, a heart that devises wicked thoughts, evil schemes, in other words, feet that are swift at running to evil. People just love doing things evil. 19. A false witness that breaketh out lies, another lie, but this is even worse because you can tell the truth and hurt people. And he that soweth discord among the brethren, rebellion. 20. My son, keep thy commandment of thy father, and forsake not the teaching of thy mother. In other words, listen to your parents. Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. Keep them right before you. Keep thinking about them. Keep reading them over. 22. When thou walkest, it shall lead thee. When thou liest down, it shall watch over thee. When you walk, it'll tell you where you should be going, and when you rest, it'll protect you. 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and teaching is light, and reproofs of instruction are a way of life. 24. To keep thee from the evil woman, or man, for the smoothness of the alien tongue. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her captivate thee with her eyelids. Now, quit staring at the beautiful people. It could be man or woman. For an account of a harlot, a man is brought to a loaf of bread, but an adulteress hunteth for precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? No. Can one walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? No. So is he that goeth into his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her shall not be unpunished. In other words, commit adultery, you will be punished. 30. Men do not despise a thief when he steals, to satisfy his soul when he is hungry, but if he be found, he must restore sevenfold. In other words, if you steal because you're hungry, people are not going to hate you for that. You still got to pay it back when you're caught, though. But if found, he must restore sevenfold. He must give all the substance of his house. 32. He that committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth will destroy his own soul. You commit adultery, you're going to destroy yourself. 33. Wounds and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. In other words, you get hurt, and people will not forget it. 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare in the day of vengeance. In other words, you can't, he'll keep coming after you. He will not regard any ransom. You can't bribe him. Neither resent content, doth thou give him any gifts. You can't bribe him. You can't buy him off. You can't, nothing. He'll keep coming after you. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997, 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, so do I.